Mr. Buffett, I'm Brian Murphy from Clearwater, Florida. I'd like to ask you a question concerning your present thinking behind your acquisitions of banks such as PNC and SunTrust, particularly in light of the fact that banks were selling so cheaply in 1990 and now many have tripled in price, and it would appear from recent publications in the financial literature that you've become much more interested in banks at these higher prices relative to the 1990 valuations. Could you comment on your thinking there?
Yeah, we really have no different, there's no difference in the criteria we apply to banks than to other businesses. And a couple of publications have maybe made a little more of that than is warranted, because I doubt if there's more than a couple percentage points difference. And we don't think of it that way, incidentally. And we do not have a lot of sector, we don't have any sector allocation theories whatsoever. So we simply apply the same criteria when looking at banks that we would at any other business. Incidentally, there's sometimes, you should know that I would say that maybe half or maybe even a little more of the reports about our activities are in the press are erroneous. Now some are accurate too. And then, of course, some are way out of date. I mean, we get confidential treatment on the filings we make with the SEC as to our holdings. So they're published well over a year after we filed them. And therefore, there have been a couple of stories in the last month or two as to something we bought. And of course, if you read the story carefully, we bought it a year and a half ago maybe, and we may have sold it, we may have bought more, all kinds of things. So that I'd be careful about press reports generally. We bought a bank for Berkshire in 1969, the Illinois National Bank and Trust of Rockery. We've had an interest in the banking business. Or we feel it's something that that falls within our circle of competence to evaluate. That doesn't mean we'll be right every time, but we don't think it's beyond us to understand the banking business. And so we look at businesses in that area. Charlie?
Nothing to add.
Okay. And do we have...
记得点赞关注哦。